Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Club Junkie's What's in the Bag. I would tell you what week it is, but I know I skipped last week, so I don't really know what week it is. But we don't really have a week going on anymore. It's just what's in my bag for what I'm going to be playing coming up here. And I'm definitely going to hit some balls. It is freezing here in Metro Detroit, so I'm not playing. But last week, played really well. I was out in California, San Diego area for 2026 product presentations and stuff like that. And got to go play with the all the guys at Fuji Kura. Went out and played 18, had a blast. Had that kind of tailor-made bag, a lot of Fuji product in it, and played really well. I do have to say, hit the ball really solid. Started off a little bit slow, didn't hit driver too well, and then found driver a little bit later on in the round. So ended strong. The front nine struggled a little bit again in the few shots off the tee. Hit the irons really well. I had the Cobra 3DP Tours with the Fujikura Axioms in there, the Axiom 95 taper tips. Hit those really well, and I do have to say that's a great combo of just a super stable head, but small, and then a really stable kind of mid-launch, mid-spin shaft. So hit those really well. Hit the wedges fairly well also. But driver took a little bit, but by the back nine, I actually hit driver pretty well and finished pretty strong and just barely got it in. It got a little dark, but we got it in. So my putter still didn't love that. That Bettinardi Queen Bee 16 is something that I absolutely love the look of. I just don't putt well with it. So that one, unfortunately, didn't have the hottest day, but the rest of the round was really fun and had a good day. So hit some good shots, and we're going to get into the next one. And this one's probably going to be an indoor, more sim type situation because I don't have any travel planned. And it, like I said, is pretty darn cold outside. I think today the high is like 33. So not warm enough to go play, but I'm still going to go out there and hit some stuff because we got a lot of new product out there. There's even more coming that won't be until next year. But I got a lot of stuff here that is new that I definitely need to go mess around with. So as usual, we're going to start from the top. And the first thing is going to be driver. And driver, we're going to throw in the PXG Lightning Tour-Mid 10.5. So this is the Tour-Mid model. Unfortunately, can't get into any of the actual tech or specs or any of this thing, but just know a really good driver from PXG. Definitely think it is, I mean, it's the best ones they made, the Lightning. I mean, every year they get better and better, and I think Lightning is just taking another step. But Tour-Mid 10.5, this one playing in standard position, and got movable weights on there, all that. But again, won't get into much about the head, unfortunately. Just know it is really good, and I can't wait to be able to talk about it. So I'm going to go that, and then shaft on this one is going to be the new Baddazz Gold series. So the Baddazz is actually from VA Composites. If you're not familiar with VA Composites, they've been making shafts for a long time. Victor over there is a long time kind of legendary shaft designer, and he kind of went on his own a while ago with VA, and Baddazz is kind of the price point shaft that he offers. And this is something that he was really passionate about fitting, and noticing that, like, when you go into a custom fitting, usually you're getting put into a shaft that's extremely expensive, $300-400, even more, into a driver that's already expensive with the fitting, all that. And he wanted to make something that was super high quality, but a little bit more affordable. That's what this is. And this is the new Gold series. This is going to be, they already make a standard model that is kind of like, I think it's like mid-high launch, kind of mid-spin. This is going to be a little bit stiffer, a little bit lower launching, a little bit lower spinning, still really high-end quality materials in it, great profile, and some kind of wild, kind of cool gold graphics on there. This is a 60X. I built this thing up to 45 inches, no tipping, but really excited to hit this. I hit the original Baddazz shaft a few years ago when it first came out, and was really impressed with it. For the price, I thought it performed really, really well, and I expect this to do the same. So excited to get this out and hit it. And this is set, of course, with the all-fit adapter, and this is a new adapter. I found it on actually Amazon, but it's built for all-fit. It's just under a different name, like Roy made. So we'll see how that holds up. I heard some the reviews online were a little interesting in terms of durability and things like that. So we'll see how that holds up. But really excited to hit this shaft and this head combo. I think it's going to be really, really solid. Then we're going to go into 3-wood, and 3-wood is going to be the Tour Edge Exotics LS. So this is the new one for 26 they came out with. And instead of before they had the C and the E series, so the C series is a little bit more player focused, E series is a little bit more the forgiving kind of high launching model. This replaces the C series with the LS. The LS is now the name for the driver and the fairway woods. But this thing's an absolute underrated cannon. Titanium face, tungsten sole, carbon fiber crown, just absolutely tons of tech in this head. And it is an absolute monster. I know Tour Edge has always been known for fairway woods and hybrids. This just kind of exemplifies that. It's just an absolute monster. Does have kind of a flat trajectory, comes out a little bit lower than some other models, but man, the thing's got some absolute ball speed to it. So 2 movable weights on the sole, 5 grams in the front, 15 on the back, so set up for a little bit higher launching, a little bit of added spin, and the adapter on this one is just set standard. So 15 degree 3-wood. This thing here is, like I said, it's a monster. It looks good. When you set it down, it's got a really classic look from Baddazz, a little bit more compact than the Max series that they make now. But this thing is really, really good. I love also too, a little deeper face on it, so hitting it off the tee, things like that. No problem. A lot of confidence in those shots. So I remember I played a lot with the C series. That was before this one, the C725. Really excited to play this one some more because I really like that C725. I think this is going to basically step right in and take over where that one left off. So really good head there. Set standard. And this one here is shafted up with a Nippon NS Pro Regio Formula B Plus 75X. So I don't remember which one the blue was. They make 3 models of this shaft. And the B Plus is kind of the mid-low launch, low spin shaft, 75 grams. Actually comes in a little heavier than that. I think they come in at like 78-ish, a little bit heavier, but really nice shaft. These things here, you don't find them everywhere, and I know Nippon is known for making steel shafts, but the graphite version, these Regio formulas are really, really smooth. I think there's some of the smoother shafts out there. I get to hit a lot of shafts, and these feel really, really good, but they perform really well. This one here, again, I think is labeled as kind of their low launch, low spin. Not quite that low. If you compare it to like a Ventus Black or something like that, it definitely launches a little bit higher. But this thing here, really stable, really good feeling, and produces a nice kind of mid-low trajectory. So like this shaft a lot. I played all 3 of the models. They've got a mid and a higher one, and I've played them all, and they're all really, really good. So got this set up in the 3-wood, and then we move on to the next club in the bag, and we're going to bust out another PXG new club that I, again, can't talk much about, but this is going to be the PXG 0311X, the Gen 8. So this is the Gen 8 driving iron, as you can show by the little X on the back. And this one here is a really cool driving iron, utility iron. It is comes in at 18 degrees. It's the only model, or the only loft they offer in this model, which is unfortunate. I wish they offered a wider range, but this is bent weak, so it does help get the ball up in the air a little bit easier. And I played this thing out in Scottsdale when I got kind of fit for it or put in the bag. Really impressed with it. I didn't think I was going to really like it that much. I thought it was going to come out way too low, and I just wouldn't be able to hit it that well, or I could only hit it off a tee. And out there, I actually played 2 rounds with it and actually hit it off the deck a few times and actually hit it fairly well. So I'm going to put this thing in there. Again, I think this would be, for me, more of a tee club, but it definitely adds a little bit of power at the top end of the bag. And bending it weak definitely makes it look pretty good. Takes a little bit of offset out of it. So this thing here will go in the bag as kind of the 3-iron in the bag. And this is shafted up with a Graphite Design Tour AD DI85 stiff hybrid shaft. So this is the hybrid version of the DI, which little different in terms of profile. This is kind of like more mid-launch with lower spin. I know the driver shaft or wood shaft is kind of high launch, low spin. This one's a little bit different. I believe the profile is a little bit firmer in the handle while still being stiff in the tip section. So meant to get the ball up in the air a little bit easier, more mid-launch. And this thing here is super smooth, super consistent. I mean, you see this shaft everywhere on tour. And there's a reason for it, because it helps get the ball in the air, and it's really, really good. It's really stable, really consistent, offers really smooth feel. But this thing's been around for a long, long time, but it keeps going strong because it just performs really well. So 85 stiff in this one, and that'll be the 3-iron / kind of 7-wood replacement there. And then for irons, usually I know I throw either like a hybrid or a utility here in the 4-iron, but I'm going to go forward through pitching wedge with the brand new Srixon ZXiR iron. So yes, these are the brand new ones that just came out yesterday. If you're watching this on Thursday today, just came out yesterday. And these are basically in addition to the Srixon lineup. The big difference is using a material called iAlloy, which is basically a kind of a revised alloy of steel that they're using here, and it's based all around getting good feel. And now the other Srixon, the ZXi 7s, 5s, 4s, they use basically forged parts. These are a little less expensive because they are cast, but they didn't want that. Srixon didn't want feel to be, kind of a problem with going to a cast club, so they came up with this new steel. Definitely good feeling, but these things are built for high launch and forgiveness. Meant to be kind of long. They're not crazy, crazy hot. I think ZXi4 might be a little bit longer. They're not crazy hot in the face, but they're definitely built for distance. They're built to be forgiving, and they look kind of like a slightly bigger ZXi5 when you set them down next to each other. Top line's a little bit thicker, and the overall blade length and all that, the blade size is a little bit bigger, but it's still got the Tour V-sole. It still has that really kind of classic look from behind. I think they did a really nice job with these, and being a few $100s cheaper than the ZXi5s or 4s or any of those, I think these things are do really, really well. So I've yet to hit them. I literally just got them out of the box the other day, like Monday. So I have not hit them yet, but I've heard from a few people who have hit these already, and multiple people walked away very, very impressed with how these have performed, how they sound, how they feel. And I'm excited to try them out myself to see how they go. Because, like I said, heard nothing but good things about these. And if they're as good as these people are saying, who are guys that I really respect and trust their equipment knowledge, I think these things could be a big hit for Srixon for players looking for a little bit more forgiveness inside an iron set. And when you set them down, they don't have a ton of offset. You know, a little bit more than say a ZXi5 or something like that. But even in the 4-iron, they definitely look a little bit more aspiring player in the bag, which is really, really nice. So excited to hit these. These are shafted up with some KBS Tour Lights in stiff flex, just the stock shaft that comes in here. So get a little bit higher launching shaft, a little bit lighter weight steel. But I've hit these before. I got these right when, kind of before they came out. I think they sent me some prototypes before they came out, and I was pretty impressed. I mean, they do get the ball up in the air. They're kind of mid-high flight, but they are actually more consistent than I thought. Sometimes you get into some of those really lightweight steels, and they just don't feel tight. These definitely feel tight. They feel consistent, and they still get the ball up in the air. So good combination here. I'm gonna play 4 through pitching wedge with these. Let's see how the 4-iron goes. You know, if they're as easy to hit as they say, maybe it will be just as easy as hitting a utility iron or a hybrid or something like that. So excited to get these out on the course and try them out, because, as I said, I've had a lot of people tell me a lot of really good things about those irons. So now we move into wedges, and wedges I'm going to match, you know, with Srixon. Let's add their little, you know, their sibling in the Cleveland line. And let's go bust out my old Cleveland RTZ wedges that I did kind of my wild build a little while ago. These are totally custom. I ordered the heads directly from Cleveland with, you know, all the engravings and all the custom stuff. And then I tore them apart and put some wild shafts in them. But these things are, I mean, really, really good performance. RTZs spin really, really well. Love the shaping on them. Just really classic Cleveland wedges. And the new RTZ, or the new Z alloy in these RTZs, does feel softer than the RTX stuff before it. So almost like that forge feel out of a cast head. Great spin, really aggressive grooves, and no matter if you're playing a gap wedge down to a lob wedge, these things spin really, really well around the green. So this one's a 50 mid 10, so just the standard 50 degree, has a little flower motif on there, a little Club Junkie stamping, and then we have, like, you know, the shiny gold ferrule that I ordered, and these are shafted up with KBS C-Taper lights with the rainbow PVD finish. So C-Taper Light 110 stiffs, rainbow PVD, so you can see kind of the color changing there. It looks really, really cool. These are actually really good. I like these in the wedges. They have just a touch of softness to them, so when you're hitting less than full shots, they feel really good, while still offering kind of that mid-launch that that you like to have control into the green. So really good combo there for the gap wedge. And then the sand wedge is going to be its matching sibling. It is going to be the 56 mid 10 RTZ from Cleveland. This one here has got kind of that camo laser etching on the back, which looks pretty cool. This is a tour rack one, so this is raw. The only downside to RTZs is that this material doesn't rust like the old ones. So the RTZs look really cool, the tour racks and all that, but they just don't rust. They're not going to patina. They're not going to have that rusty look that I really liked from the old tour racks. But same thing, totally customized, tons of different paint fill on this. This midsole on this one, I love the fact that it's got some trailing edge relief, a little bit of relief in the heel. You can open this thing up. It's a pretty versatile wedge there. Be able to hit a bunch of different shots with it. And again, you know, the grooves on this thing, super aggressive, but great spin on the ball, whether you're hitting out of the rough, whether you're hitting out of a tight fairway lie. Just work really, really well. So again, 56 mid 10, and then again, like the other one, shafted up with the KBS C-Taper Light Rainbow PVD. This is a C-Taper Light 110 in stiff, but really cool look, and it even has the lizard grips on them. These are mid-size. This one's orange, and there's a blue and a green. Kind of mixed them up, make them look something kind of cool. But I like these wedges a lot. I've played them a handful of times, and really impressed with the performance on them, because they do spin really well in the green. They feel really, really good. So the final wedge is going to be a Cleveland, of course, RTZ, but this is the 60 Adapt. So this is an 8-degree bounce Adapt sole. Definitely a little different. It's got a pre-worn leading edge on the front, tons of relief on the back, trailing edge, heel and toe. Again, super versatile, but 8 degrees of bounce. It plays like it's got a little bit more. When you play it square to the target, definitely plays like it's got a little bit more than 8 degrees of bounce. So if you're someone who's a little bit more steep, you don't have to be super concerned about this digging too much or anything like that. But a really cool sole design. I think they did a nice job with it. It allows you to open the face, play it square. You can kind of almost play it back in your stance a little bit and kind of hit that like low, flat, high spinning shot into the target. It just does everything really, really well. So the Adapt sole, definitely, the description's really good. Love the fact that it's kind of the Ben Franklin money symbol there. Had, again, paint fills all changed up in that. And then on these Adapts, this is the one that's got the full face groove. So a little bit higher toe design, full grooves on it. And in a lob wedge, I kind of like this because as you open the face to hit it, say out of a bunker or have to hit a little higher lofted shot into the green from the rough, your miss is typically high on the toe. Like that's what you're going to miss when you have that face open, and there's just a little bit more space, a little bit more mass out there that helps some of those missed shots carry a little bit further and have a little bit more spin. So adds just a little bit of control to it. But overall, just again, a really good wedge. I wish they made this adapt like in the 56 or something like that as well with just the standard grooves. I think it's definitely worthwhile to have it with more options. But right now, just in the lob wedges with this. So, but a great wedge there. Again, in the lob, works really well. And then this one here, again, same thing. KBS C-Taper Light 110 Stiff in Rainbow PVD. And we got the green Lizard Skins wrap on there. So these are actually pretty good grips. Like, they don't feel crazy tacky, but once you get them out there, they're soft, but they actually do have a good amount of like grip to them. Your hands don't slip. And then a little bit of mid-size, that slightly bigger feel, kind of does deaden the hands just a little bit with the wedges. So I've kind of liked them on there. I thought I was just going to do it for the look, and that was it. But they've actually turned out to be pretty decent. So, and then the final piece of the puzzle is going to be putter, and that is going to be the brand new Bettinardi the Antitode SB5. So this is the SB5, which is kind of that half moon mallet type look, but it is the zero torque. So when you hold it in your hands and it's unrestricted, the toe just points up in the air. So this is me just holding it like in my hands, toe pointed straight in the air. And what that does is it's just keeping the face square to your target. So that way, with putting, you're taking out one variable. You know, the face stays square to the target. You don't have to worry about squaring it up at impact, and it should add some consistency there. But I do have to say, Bettinardi, with their zero torque stuff, the Antitode, I've messed with the other two. Before that, the SB1, SB2. I now have the 3 and the 5. And I do have to say, they're probably some of the best feeling zero torque putters out there. They just feel really good. Stainless steel face, you know, milled horizontal lines in there is going to soften it up just a touch. Also puts a good little roll in the ball. But this thing here, just great milling all around, the honeycomb and the kind of the lower cavity there. But this thing just looks good from address. It just has a nice solid look to it as I'm wiggling the camera, I'm sorry. But when you looked at it from address, it just looks really good. Just really classic, kind of a, you know, a lot of these putters, they just kind of look funky and weird and whatever. Bettinardi made this look really, really solid. And of course, the Bettinardi milling and all that all over this head just looks really, really solid. So great feel, good roll on the ball, and it feels good through the stroke so far. So down here, and my putting mat, it's been great. It'll be exciting to take it somewhere else and go to like a real putting green or something like that. Or maybe, you know, I'll run outside, you know, to the actual putting green at a course and just go putt for a little bit until my hands get cold and I can't do it anymore. But this thing here, really solid. But the SB5, pretty much standard steel shaft, and then the lambkin deep etch grip on there with the Bettinardi logo. So something pretty traditional. I may go a little bigger on this later on. We'll see. But right now we're going to leave it. But this thing, the funny thing is, the Antitode SB5, the one has kind of the fangs on it, was the one I thought I'd like a little bit better when I saw them. And for whatever reason, I've liked this SB5 a little bit more. I don't know if it's a classic shape or look or whatever, but this is the one that's kind of got my eye a little bit more. So that will be putter. And that is it. So that is the what's in the bag for this week. Again, it's probably going to be some indoor sim stuff, but excited to be able to hit a lot of this new product because, yeah, it's new and I get to experience it. So excited to report back to you guys on that. And see how well I like those ZXiR irons and the rest of the stuff. But that is my what's in the bag for this week. Check back next week. We'll tell you how everything went and what I played, when I went indoors, what I did, and then we'll jump into another what's in the bag. So check back next week, and we'll see you.